my happy enders. It is another week, and let's get started. This episode has been on the books for a year, maybe two. This is Princess Cory. She was the talent coordinator at the Comedy Store. She was good friends with Mitzi. She was the front bartender at the Comedy Store. She was also married to the late, great Freddy Soto. This episode is fantastic. I adore her. She wore a dress the whole time. Really should go check it out on YouTube. She makes me look awful like a troll. It's fantastic. But we talk about the Comedy Store. We talk about Freddie. We talk about being a mom and a comedian and just so much. I love her so much. I will have her on again. And I just want her life story because it was just amazing. Please like, click, subscribe, comment, send emails to joyshappyendings@gmail.com. And always thank you to Care by Design for your CBD lotion and keeping my hands on my body. I appreciate you guys more than you know. An absolute extract for all your THC needs. Thank you guys. Get undressed, get under the sheets. Ooh, you're in for a treat. No, I promise this is not a dream. It's just a happy ending with Joy Eileen. All right. Are you ready? Oh, I'm ready. So excited for this one. I'm excited too. All right. Do you want to introduce yourself?
I get to introduce myself. Well, hello. Hi. Thanks for coming. I'm Princess Cory. Joy, thank you so much for having me. I'm super excited.
I'm so glad you came in.
Right?
It's been like a year or two since I've been trying to get you on.
Oh, my God. Has it been that long?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God.
Because I fell in love with your shoes. I didn't even know who you were.
No way, really? Oh, my God. Well, yeah, because I haven't been around for so long.
Uh-huh.
You know? I mean, I went back to school and became a teacher after Freddie died, so I could put Cruz through private school.
Nice.
So, you know, and having a bébé is a little bit not really conducive to night work.
I know. I'm the worst mom in the world.
Oh, my God. That's right. You're a mom.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my God.
My kids hide my purse. They're like, don't go out again. I'm like, guys.
Oh, my God.
Which is why, like, I get so mad at the Marvelous Miss Maisel.
Uh-huh. Oh, yes.
Because I'm like,
yes.
She has no mom guilt. None.
No.
And she's Jewish. No. What Jewish mom doesn't pay attention to her kids? Like,
oh, my God.
You can tell, like, a man is writing it trying to be a female comedian. I'm like, no, that's not how it is. Your kids make you feel like an asshole every time you leave the house.
Oh, my gosh.
And, like, my husband has to be like, leave mom alone. And I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't go. What time are you going to be home? And I'm like, stop.
That's what, like, I kind of made that decision. You know, which I don't know if I made the right decision or not, but Mitzi and I used to talk about it all the time, and because I lived in her house, like right on top of the Hyatt, and with Freddie, and then I would just walk down the Hyatt ramp, and then I would, go to work all day in the office and then change clothes and then either open the front bar or host the girls at the Comedy Store or just sit up with her in her office all night. And on the weekends, I'd drive her to La Jolla and we'd go, sit in her fabulous pink Art Deco condo down there. But we would talk about being a woman in Hollywood and how she was like, of all of the things that she did and all of the power that she had and all the success she had, she really was conflicted about not being a mom. The comics were her kids, but her real kids, didn't get the attention. And I don't know how many people she really let on to that she was upset. That feels so good. But she did, and so I like when Freddie died, it was like this. Like, to be honest, it was weird. I felt like it was Freddie. Like, I felt like Freddie said, you need to run, right? Like, you need to run and just take that baby and go take care of that baby.
Okay.
And because we were so, I mean, like, I'm sure Mitz would have helped me or taken me in or, because she called me right after and just couldn't believe. She was like, not Freddie. Like, she's like, I could name a million other comics that would have done this, but not Freddie.
Right.
And because she did not like, her comics dating, any of the waitresses or, her girls dating her boys, basically.
Uh-huh.
And, but Freddie was her limo driver and was, Richard Pryor's limo driver.
Uh-huh.
And so she just absolutely adored him. And she used to say, he's got the heart of a woman, okay?
Aww.
She's like, they don't make him like that anymore, okay? So, so she kind of put us together. And, when they moved the club, did you know about that?
They moved
the club in San Diego.
Oh no!
Yeah, so it's been on Pearl Street like for 1,000 years, but for a while she bought another location, and so Freddie and I went down there and single-handedly took down all of the pictures, because it looked like this one, and took down all the pictures, moved to the new location, nailed them all up. We had a huge grand opening. Went there for like the whole weekend and lived down there for the opening. And then, gosh, I think it was like maybe a year later that we moved back to the other location, and for whatever reason, and me, Freddie and I and Mitzi went back down, and we were going to move everything back in, and Mitzi and I both got the flu, and Freddie took care of us and would bring us soup, and then for the whole week, Freddie just single-handedly took all the pictures off from the old location.
Oh my
and
gosh.
Put it up in the new location. I mean, put it up in the old location.
Right.
And that's when she told me, she was like, he's a keeper, okay.
Aww.
She was like, I approve. And I said, aw. So, but yeah, it was, and I have a heinous relationship with my mother, so it was kind of one of those things where I knew exactly what not to do. I had the don't be a mom like this semicolon. So, but it's been, so I'm really, really, really close with my daughter.
Uh-huh.
And just managed to be really, really, really alone.
Right.
Not, didn't advance at all in my career, in my love life, in my financially, emotionally, nothing. But,
yeah.
So I don't know how good that is. I don't know if I think I guess it's kind of too late now, but I guess it will be a matter of I never modeled a relationship for her.
Right.
So.
How old is she now?
She's going to be 18.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, she's just applied for colleges this weekend.
Oh, that's right.
No, it's so crazy. I can't even believe.
See, I don't know, because I'm doing the opposite, where I am leaving and, trying to manage homework and laundry, and then being out till 2 a.m, taking them to school and coming home and taking a nap.
Yes.
My sister-in-laws nap shame me. They're like, "Were you napping?" And I'm like, "No, I was in the shower."
Oh my God.
I'm like, "You guys don't understand. I'm hustling and then coming it's a lot, and then the podcast, and then I work at a chiropractor's office, so I'm spread pretty thin."
Oh my God.
I got on the elliptical for 28 minutes today, and I was like, okay, that was for me. That was mine. Okay.
Yeah.
And that doesn't happen very often. I'm like, ugh. So.
No, it's and it's a little bit ridiculous that, women are supposed to be able to do it all. It's a little bit psychotic, and that's why. That's how I ended up getting the breast reductions, is because my dad left when I was 11.
Okay.
And my mom was a hippie, didn't wear shoes, didn't wear makeup, just like this idealistic, like a wealthy hippie, right? Who like went from her father's house to her husband's house, and so was like, "Oh, I'm going to save the world," but like had no idea really how to do anything and
what the world was.
Yeah, exactly. And like never wondered where her breakfast was coming from. You know what I'm saying? And we did not get along. That's a whole other story. Anyhow, so I moved out when I was 15, and so I was on my own, and I just remember thinking, you know what? Like, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be successful. I'm not going to be poor. You know, this is bullshit. Like, we don't have food. And so, like, I went out and, like, got a job when I was 11. And because I was like, oh, the electricity's out, I should probably go get a job so I can get money and like turn it back on because my mom just fell into the bottom of a bottle.
Right.
And my brother was sick, so I had to like take care of my brother and make sure that he was okay. And so I was just, all this responsibility was on my shoulders. And I thought, okay, well, and this was in the, you know, I was born in 72, right? So this was the 80s. And so it was working girl and the shoulder pads and everything was like, you know, high-powered women. And I said, oh, I want that, right? Like, I am so into that. And I got, like, when I was 13, I got to, like, my first full-time job was volunteering or like, on the summer. And it was, like, in an office. And I was so excited to, like, use a copier. And, you know, like, just Dorkville. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to be like this amazing businesswoman. And so then when I went to high school, they said, you know, you could take a mentorship program. And I said, I'm going to work at IBM because that's the best one. And, you know, started working there in high school and then revamped their entire marketing department. And I was like, oh, I'm going to get you know, they're like, we're going to hire you right out of high school. And I was like, oh, I'm just going to be so rich and so powerful. It's going to be great. And then I was walking down the corridor, and I hear my boss say, you mean the girl with the tits in the corner? And I was like, I'm sorry. Now, granted, I did have a size 42 triple F breasts, which, you know, in the 80s, that was, you know, probably like quadruple H these days.
Been there when I was pregnant, get it?
Yeah. I mean, like, it was... I mean, they were gargantuan. Like, they were really, like, it was a lot, right? Like, I used to think maybe I should date a lawyer because I caused so many car accidents. Like, I could just say, hey, you know, I'm going to be crossing, you know, Canal Street at such and such a time. But the attention was so, like, after years and years and years of it, you know, I was like, you know, I'm really smart and I'm really funny and you know, like nobody's paying attention to anything but my boobs and they just automatically assume that I'm a slut and you know, because in the 8th grade I didn't have anything, you know, and I was like straight A student and like breaking the curve and nobody wanted to date me and everybody, you know, and I was like all alone and then all of a sudden I get these 2 bags of fat that hang off of me and then everybody wants to date me. So I dated all of them, you know. Because, you know, I'm not stupid. But I just wanted to sample the wares.
Now, how much did you reduce them to?
So I was a 42 triple F, and I went down to a 38 double D. Okay. And then from a 38 double D, I went down to a 36 C because he kind of botched up the first one. Okay. And because we had terrible insurance. But and then that was the other like crazy hashtag Me Too story is this doctor. Every time I showed up, there would be like he's in a doctor's coat, but then there'd be another guy with like golf shoes on with a coat on, and he was like, "Oh, this is Dr. So-and-so, and he's going to be checking you out." Because I like my very first appointment, I remember sat there and I was kind of, you know, like bad posture. I was hunched over. And he's like, well, you know, it's a really serious operation. And if you don't need it, you know, you shouldn't have it. And I was like, yeah, just get me in the room here and I'll show you. And so I go in the room and he opened up the, you know, like my gown and he was like, holy mother of God.
Oh my God.
And I was like, yeah, I know. They're massive. And so then it was like, every appointment, it was like some random guy would be there fondling my boobs.
That's
right. Like he would just probably be like, "Hey, I know I owe you 20. Just you know, after your back 9, just come by this appointment." And it was so crazy. But like in because I grew up in New Orleans, and so, we were going to bars at like 13. And
oh my God.
And so I just remember, being at the bars and getting, and to the point where I knew exactly what the group of guys were talking about. And so I would just walk right up to him. I'd say, first of all, I get half of whatever the bet is right now, cough it up. And then be like, what are you talking about? And they're like, just give her the money. And then I'd be like, yes, they're real. No, you can't touch them. Yes, I can hold that beer can underneath them.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, why are they so enamored? Until I had my baby, and then I realized, oh, it's sustenance.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is why, if you nurse your child, they're going to be like happy and warm and like it's going to represent goodness and safety, and like it totally makes sense.
That I took a Dominatrix class.
Oh, hello.
Just because I'm trying to find my voice. I'm trying to be more confident because I'm not. And so I was like, oh, maybe this will teach me like how to be confident. And it was really interesting because that's how men get foot fetishes. Because when they're a baby, they crawl and they see their mom's feet, and then they touch their mom's feet, and then she picks them up and takes them to the boob.
Wow.
Yeah. So psychologically, they think feet, boob, milk, happiness.
Oh my God, that makes so much sense.
She has a psychology of dominatrix, and I was like, oh, I want to take that.
Oh, that sounds really cool.
Because just what she did so many things, like this is why this is, and I'm like, oh my God, that's so interesting.
Oh my God.
Because I am super nerd. Like I took notes in a dominatrix class. My husband's like, of course you did.
Oh, I love that.
I was like, I don't want to like spank anyone, or I don't want to be anybody's mistress. I just want, I really want to find my voice. And I'm so, because when I get on stage, like, I don't even know who's going to come out.
Well, and so when did you start doing stand-up?
Kind of 4 years ago.
Oh, wow.
But mom 4 years ago.
Okay, yeah. Wait, and how old are your kids? One child, two?
3.
3?
19, 13, and 8.
What?
All boys.
Oh my God. Well, yeah, they're all boys. They can handle themselves.
Yeah. But I mean, the 8-year-old, he knows how to make me feel like shit. There's been times I've driven to an open mic and cried the whole way.
Aww.
And then got out of the car and been like, okay, be a woman now. Like, suck it up.
Oh.
Or in the shower. I have a very big pep talk in the shower. Like, you're a big girl. You can do this. You can handle all of this. Just put on your big girl panties. You got this. And then I'm like, I don't wear panties. And then I cry, and then I get out of the shower.
Well, is it like, do you have this maternal pull that's telling you not to leave, but your drive is overcoming that?
Both, yeah. It's like the most conflicting thing I've ever had.
Oh, God.
Because I've always wanted to do things. So, like, when John used to work on a Navy ship, and at some point he was gone for 8 months, and it was just me and 3 kids. And so I wrote my first...
for 8 months.
For 8 months. And we'd just gotten custody of our oldest, because my oldest is my stepson. And so I had to do monitored visits with this crazy ex-wife. It was just...
Oh, my God. By yourself?
By myself. It was miserable. So I wrote my first romance novel, because I'm like, okay, I'm going to do something.
Oh, my God, that's fantastic.
And so, like, I've always, like, wanted to do stuff. But anytime there's been a microphone, I'm like, I want to touch that. Like, at funerals, you know how, like, they're like, does anybody want to say anything? And I'm like, wait, funerals. We get to do that? Oh, my dad hated it. He'd be like, Joy, sit down. And I'd be like, no, I want to talk in that thing.
Oh, my God.
Same with high school graduation. I spoke at the high school graduation. I'm like, oh, I get to talk in front of people? So, like, when we started, because we've been coming here kind of 7 years on and off. And then 4 years, I was like, oh, I want to get on stage and play, too. Wow. So, but like super off. Like I tried it, and then I didn't try it again for a couple of years, and then I'd go on like once, maybe every 2 months. And like didn't understand open mics, like didn't know any of it. So but
Mitz, I mean, I used to sit there with Mitzi during the showcases and during open mics, and we'd watch every single person, and well, it's crazy because everybody who's huge now it's like I remember when they were just first starting,
I love it.
and it's so, and it's like went away and I come back and I'm like, oh, this is what happens when you stick with it.
Right.
Uh-huh. And, but she always said, you don't have to be funny in 3 minutes, but you have to be you.
Uh-huh.
And there would be some people that got up that would be just horrific, but she would go, they have it.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yep.
It didn't matter because it was, she could see through any affectation. She's like, what is it that makes you you?
I love that.
And you're right though when you say like that you have to find your voice, but that's the crazy thing is like for stand up you have to find your voice in front of people.
Uh-huh.
You have to find it. I mean, I come from a theater background. I mean, the curtain doesn't go up until you know every line and your costume's perfect and everything's amazing and the concept of fumbling and oh, that feels so good. I'm like, oh, pardon me. The concept of having to. I just got distracted. Like just make mistakes live in front of people is terrifying.
But it's so much fun. Like when it works. When it bombs, it hurts.
Oh yeah.
But when it works. Like, I've never done drugs.
Are you serious?
Yeah. Which scared me because freaking Brody, he had that joke where it was 80% of comedians smoke pot and the other 20% aren't funny. And I was all,
oh my God, that's so funny.
It freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, because I'm so neurotic and anxious. I was like, oh my God, does that mean I'm not going to be funny? And my husband's like, oh my God, shut up. I don't smoke pot. Oh my God. But, it's the first time I've ever felt high. Well, I mean, what I assume.
Yes. And that's good, though, because Freddie told me, he said, don't ever have a drink or get high before you go on stage, because I was like a big party girl when I first came here. And he said, because whatever you do when you start, that's what you need to do for the rest of your life, right? Because then it becomes a crutch.
Yep.
And I thought that was the best advice.
And that's true. I've only been on stage once where I was a little tipsy. And that was a couple weeks ago. Josh Adam Myers, because I massage in his green room. And he's like, Joy, I'm going to put you up at the end. And I'm like, wait, I've been drinking.
Yeah.
It was the first time John was like, hey, I want to come. And I was like, cool, you're here. I can drink. You can drive.
Right.
And so I was like, Josh doesn't put me on. So, yeah, I was drinking. And he's like, I'm going to put you up. And I'm all, oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
And I went on stage, and I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, hey, hi, hello. And I'm like, oh, my God, this isn't you. Calm down.
Oh, my gosh. No, but wait, but you wrote a novel?
I have 7 romance books out.
Oh.
Like nerd, like super.
God.
They're nerdy.
I love that. What do you mean they're nerdy?
Just, I don't know, like they're self-published, and the first 3 that I wrote were like me getting back at my ex. Well, actually, it was very just cathartic.
Yeah.
And I killed him, and I ruined his family, and it made me feel better.
I love it.
So, but somebody, because I also ghostwrite, and somebody told me, they're like, authors have a very hard time finding their voice because they have so many voices in them. And I'm all, oh, that makes sense.
Oh, wow.
And that hit me. I just heard it last Tuesday, and I was all, oh.
That's really, really amazing.
Yes. And then I asked her, because I'm actually taking her class. I'm taking Pretty Funny Women, because I don't know what else to do right now. And Lisa, she's the one who runs it, and she was like, we're going to help you. And I'm like, that's all I want. I need to find who I am. I'm like, I can write. I can be funny. I can write jokes.
Yeah.
I'm like, I just need to know how I'm delivering them. Because like sometimes I'll get up and I'll just stand there. Sometimes I get up and I'm like running around the stage, and I'm like,
But why can't you tell a story in all of the voices of all of your characters?
And I might be able to. I think I just need to find where I'm comfortable, though. Like, so when I'm like get off stage, I constantly feel like, okay, I got this, you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I will never forget the first time like when you do really well and then you get off stage and you kind of are in this vortex.
Yes.
And where like everybody sounds like they're really far away, and you also, I don't know if it's like that anymore, but you know, in the 20th century when I was doing stand-up, it was, you know, you kind of worry, like you get this feeling like people, well, I guess like before I did it, everybody liked me, and then as soon as you do it and you do it well, you become like competition.
Yes.
Right? And I didn't like that. You know, because I'm Southern. I want everybody, you know, to be charming and delightful and have a good time. Like I am not a competitive person.
Neither am I.
Yeah, and I didn't like that feeling because I don't think that it needs to be that way.
No, I agree. No, and I like if somebody has a good set, I will tell them. And I mean, if they don't have a good set, I'm just like, hey, hi, how you doing? Like, I don't want to lie to you.
Yeah.
But I like it when people do well. Like, if you keep the crowd laughing and I'm coming up next, thank you. Like, keep them happy.
I know. Well, see, but that's, you know, maybe that's, you know, because you have this, you know, the writer in you first, so you have an appreciation when you see art done well. Right? Like you can go, wow, that's great. And it doesn't, like there's more than enough room for everybody.
Right. Like I'm not like anyone. I know I'm a mom. I write romance books. I'm a massage therapist. I'm fat. Like I'm different and I'm okay with that. Like, you know, nobody's going to be me. So and who's going to be whoever else? That's fine.
Yeah.
But that's just me, which probably means I'm not going to make it. But hey, that's
no.
okay.
But wait, and do you talk about that you write romance novels?
I do.
Yeah, because that's brilliant.
And it's funny because, like, first of all, the first thing they're like is it nasty? Is it like 50 Shades of Grey? And I'm like, no, I'm not a billionaire. Like, so obviously it's not like 50 Shades of Grey.
Yeah.
You know? And it's just funny. Like, is it dirty? And I'm like, you know, they have sex, but it's not. I'm not erotic. Like, I'm slow burn. I'm dialogue based. So,
which is super erotic for women.
I love it.
Right?
I love dialogue.
Oh my God. Yeah. You seriously, like, yeah. I mean, you it's like you have to. Well, it's so funny because I had a book one time and it was, you know, I picked it up and it was about sex, but then it turned out to be like Bible related about sex, right? Which I thought was so funny because it wasn't saying don't do it. It was saying here's all of the, you know, allegories about, you know, the woman being a tight drum and then you have to make sure that you loosen her up so that her honey flows before she's ready.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, that's a scream. You know, and then the guy goes, gentlemen, this means that women have to have foreplay, otherwise she won't be wet. And I was like,
oh my God!
But I just the concept that there are parts of the Bible that are a handbook for sex, right? Like very much so. Like and like the book said, there's more how to in the Bible about the act of sex than there is marriage.
Really?
Yes.
Well, it makes sense. A bunch of old horny ass men wrote it.
A bunch of guys on a fishing trip for a really long time, and they're like, "Hey, you know what I miss?"
They're like, "How do we get money and women? I don't know. Let's make a religion."
Oh my God! But no, I mean, it is like the. And I worry about the kids today with the short attention span and texting and everything's like short and choppy. Mm-hmm. You know, like you need to have like a nice long story that gets you in the mood, right?
I hope so. And I mean, like some people, like I have fans, like I have super fans, like I have people who have tattoos.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes.
That's so cool.
It's terrifying. I'm like, stop, why are you doing that? And they're like, no, because I have a rock and roll. It's a fictitious rock and roll band because I've always wanted to be a rock star and just not going to happen. So
Stop saying not going to happen.
So I made my own. And like they're called the Jackholes. And I have people who have Jackholes tattoos, and it's so crazy. Well, oh my gosh. Okay.
Wait, how long have the books been out?
The first one came out 2015.
Oh my God, girl, you're just kicking ass.
I'm trying. The fourth one, it's been 2 years, and I did an author signing a while ago, and I had readers yell at me, and I'm like, I know.
Wait, what do you mean?
Because it's a series. It's going to be 6 books, and the fourth one hasn't come out in 2 years.
Oh, yell at you like, get a move on.
They're like, Joy, and I'm like, it's there.
Oh
it's
my God.
I'm like, come watch my kids, or
well, yeah, right.
buy more so I can quit the chiropractor. Like, please.
Well, and then would because isn't I mean I've always written, like I've always written my whole life, but but it was my life story, but it was. But what you want, though, is to have somebody, pay you a large sum of money, right? Yeah. And then you're able to just kick back and focus on your writing.
Yes.
And so are they not doing that anymore because of the interwebs?
Well, I'm self-published. I'm too scared to actually submit my manuscript, so I just self-publish.
What's to submit? It's already published.
It's published, but it's published under me. Yeah. So all the marketing and everything, and I'm not very good at marketing. Like, honestly, I'm bad. But I have a friend who adores my books. So I'm ghostwriting 3 books for her.
Oh, my God.
And she said, she quit her job. Like, all she does is write. And she was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to split half of what we make on these 3 books.
Oh, my God.
Her last book in the first month made $6,000. So she's like, but what we're going to do is $3,000 of this money that you're going to get from these 3 books, you're going to let me market your next book. I'm going to teach you how to spend $3,000.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yes.
And I'm like, you know what?
Yeah, because it takes money to make money. I hate that part.
So she's like, we're going to play. She's like, your books need to be marketed. As soon as they're out, they're going to be good. So, of course, my husband's like, oh, are you going to use it for the Jackholes books? And I'm like, no, I want to write a new book and market that. And then hopefully people will come back and want to binge what else I've written.
Oh, right.
I go, because it would be weird to market a book that's been out since 2015. And he's like, oh, so you're going to write another one. I'm like, oh, my God, I have so many books, like, half written on my computer. It's fine. Like, calm down.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah. So that's what we're going to do.
See, that's when it's just a calling, right? When it's effortless.
It's so
and
much.
It's there. Like, as soon as you sit down in front of the blank page, you just...
Yes. That is something I know I'm good at. I can create... You tell me, Joy, I want a book about something, and I can write. I mean, of course, it's going to have a happy ending, but I can write you one. And I'll have twists, and I'll have plots, and I'll have arcs, but yeah.
And now what about... And you like books as opposed to scripts?
I've never done scripts. I have one book that... It's my favorite book that I wrote. It's called Transparent. And a guy in the 19th century goes to a gypsy, and he was like, hey, I need a love spell. And the gypsy is like, well, what about true love? And he's like, I don't need that. So she, Dorian Gray-esque, puts his essence in a portrait.
Oh.
And he comes, and it's now present day, and this girl works in an art gallery, and she takes this portrait home, and she hears him talking. And she's like, what is it? She's like, you need to go to Vegas for ventriloquy because I don't know where you are, and it sounds like you're right in front of me. And it's just ice cold. So as they get to know each other, like, he becomes warm, and then he becomes solid, but he's still invisible, and then he becomes like a hologram, and then he becomes solid. So the more transparent his feelings are, the more he becomes a real person.
Oh my God, I love that.
It's my favorite story. And I was like, if we could make this into a movie, this would be...
Yes, it would be great.
It's so good. And, like, of course, on Halloween, the curse is broken, so he goes back in time to fix what ruined, and yeah.
Oh my God.
So yeah. But it's so fun. It's like
No, that's so good, and it's so original.
Yeah, which I have such a hard time with remakes of movies because we're getting like another Planet of the Apes, and I'm like, I have 7 original books right here. Please look at me.
Okay, from your mouth to God's ears, because I mean, here you are in the basement. Oh, which I forgot to say hi to the ghosts. I forgot to say hi and thank you for having us. You are here in the belly of the beast, and you are speaking this into the universe.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, like, first of all, you know, it's the year of the woman, right? I mean,
Yes.
I can't imagine that, you know, if you pitched something to someone that, you know, they'd be like, no. Right? This is the time when you pitch things.
See, I wouldn't even know where to begin. Like, same with stand-up comedy. I had no idea how to get into an open mic. So I took a stand-up class. I'm like, oh, this must be how you do it.
Oh, my God.
So I took a stand-up class with Tom Clark. I took 2, actually. I took his 1 and 2. And then still didn't understand. He explained open mics, but he just didn't, I guess, I don't know. Or maybe I just didn't look into it enough. I was like, I don't know where to go to get up. Like, now I do. It's just getting the time. Because I also live in Valencia, so...
Oh, my God, girl.
Driving here, you know, it's like 35 minutes to get here, so...
Oh, my Lord. All right, well, is the Transparent book, do you already have it?
Yes.
It's already out?
It's been out for a couple of years, yeah.
Okay, because I have a friend, and I'm gonna give her... Is it something that I can send to her or whatever? Because I think, because she's in the business, and I think that and she works specifically with women.
Okay.
So I bet you, I mean, if she doesn't know somebody, I mean, she's not in scripted, but she might know somebody who knows somebody.
Right.
You know? Because I just think that's such a great idea. And now that you've spoken it out in the universe, you got to get on it.
I do. I just, like I said, I'm like, where do I go?
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure.
And I have a hard time, like, speaking up. Like, hey, hi, I'm Joy. I'm talented. Like, ugh.
Oh, no. You know, well, yeah, that's the hardest part to do is to sell yourself, right?
Yes.
That's definitely the hardest thing to do.
Now, how did you get here? How did you get to the Comedy Store?
Okay, so in New Orleans, I was an actress, and I was acting in a television series in New Orleans, and then there were only 2 agents in New Orleans, and one of them actually tried to put a hit out on the other agent.
Oh, shit.
And because they were trying to cut out the competition.
That's a movie right there.
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, my life story is just already written. It just writes itself. So I had an audition, and like every girl in town was up for it. And then I got it, and it was for a lead in a series out here. I came out here. I'm in the cab, you know, coming from the airport, and I'm like, oh, Inglewood. I wonder if that's like a division of Hollywood. And then it's like a full motel casting couch, and I was like, oh God. I'm like, are you serious? And I'm like, well, I'm already out here. So I called my grandmother, and she said, well, you're a reincarnated 40s film star. Oh. And so she goes, you need to find Ciro's Supper Club, because that's where you would have hung out. And Ciro's Supper Club is the Comedy Store.
Yep.
So, and I just didn't know it was the Comedy Store, because there was no computer back then. And so I just started down the street, and I was a bartender, and I just was walking down Sunset Boulevard giving out my resumes. And when I got to the Comedy Store, I went, I know this building. Like, I know where I think if I go back here, there's a back door. And I'm like, I feel like I should go up these stairs. And it was just crazy. And I walked in, and they were like, what are you doing here? And I said, I think I'm supposed to be here. And I said, I'm looking for a bartending job. And they said, well, we don't have any, female bartenders, but, can you wait tables? And I was like, I really couldn't. But I was like, oh, sure. And they said, well, one of our waitresses fell down the back steps last night, and snapped her ankle, and another one's in New Orleans. And I was like, what? And they're like, can you start tonight? And I said, sure. And then that was like a Wednesday, and then that Friday was the Comedy Awards. So every comedian ever that I'd ever seen in my entire life was here.
Oh.
And it was like I had died and gone to comedy heaven. And then I was at my table was a man who owned from Opelousas, Louisiana, who owned the cigar bar at the Sky Bar across the street. So then I got a second job within 3 days, and then a guy at the Sky Bar got me an apartment in Sin City, right down the street, the apartment complex that's right on the top of La Cienega next to Pink Dot. And so I worked there and just got to walk to work every day until I got to move in with Freddie, and then. But yeah, so it was just fate, right? Like I was just supposed to be here. And then Freddie brought me on stage when I did Potluck, the first time I ever did comedy. Ah. And he was like, "You're really funny." And I was like, "Great, let's get married." I was like, "That sounds perfect."
So you met him here. Like, how did you know? Like, did he hit on you? Did you hit on him?
Yeah, well, he told me I was funny when I first got off stage, which I thought was, just the best. And then, but I was actually dating this Mexican rock star, and at the time, and Freddie, I was like, "You're Mexican." I'm like, I don't like it when he does this, and what about this, and what does this mean? And we were best friends, and so he just kind of sat there and gave me advice and took notes, and then the second. He made his move. It was like he had my script already. But the first time, I remember before I had gotten up on stage, the very, very first time I saw him, I was in the back in the kitchen, and the double doors opened, and I saw this guy who had a halo around him. It was just like there were other people with him, but he just seemed to be glowing. And I remember thinking to myself, okay, that's why I'm here. I don't know who this guy is, but it was it was like fate pointing him out. Going, okay, this is the one. Pay attention to him. And and we had gone down to, I think it was the opening of the new club, actually, to be honest. I think it was, we went down, I went with Johnny Sanchez and Freddie, and we stayed at the hotel, at the Comedy Store condo. And I got nice and toasty, and Freddie was sober. And so, and I remember him going, "Okay, I'm going to put you to bed." And I'm like, no, because we're just friends, and you can't, take advantage of me, and that's not nice. And he's like, no, I'm just going to put you to bed. And he, sat there and took off all my jewelry and put me to bed, and then left. And I was, so impressed. Boys, not sleeping with a girl is actually the best way to our heart.
Yeah.
It's really, really, for a man to be a gentleman, oh my God.
It's sexy.
It is.
So how did you and Mitzi become friends? Was it just meant to be?
Yeah, well, so I had been at the club for a little bit and hadn't seen her, and Brian Holtzman lived in the same apartment complex as I did. So, so I was hanging out with him, and we were in the back of the club in the parking lot, and all of a sudden Mitzi pulled up, and I said, "Oh my God, Brian, I got to talk to Mitzi. I got to tell her thank you and how amazing this club is." And he was like, no. And everybody was like, no, you don't just walk up to Mitzi. And I go, "Oh my God, are you kidding me?" I'm like, "This is an amazing woman, and she built this place, and it's I've never felt more at home." And I go, "Of course I'm going to talk to her." And so I just went running up to her. "Mitzi, oh my God, my name's Cory, and I just wanted to tell you thank you so much, and I think you're so amazing." And I go, "You built this place," and I just, and I was just gushing all over her. And Brian had run up behind me to try to pull me away from her. And she looked up at him, and he was like, "Right?" And just looked at her, and she was like, "Oh," and she was like, "What's your name?" And she's like, "What do you do?" And that was it. From that moment on, she said, I said, "Well, I'm a bartender," and she goes, "Oh," and she said, she goes, "What about the front bar?" And the front bar was not open when I got here. It was just boarded up. And I said, on Sunset Boulevard, the the bar, like out there? And she's like, yeah, you want it? And I was like, yes. And then she goes, and she's like, you do stand up? And I was like, well, I'm an actress. I go, I'm trying. And she's like, oh, and she goes, you look like Mae West, huh, Brian? And he's like, yep, she does. And she goes, you're the one. And I went, what do you mean? And she goes, I knew when it was time to open up the Girls of the Comedy Store. She goes, the woman who was going to be it was going to show up.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, so she started up the Girls of the Comedy Store just for me.
She is my all-time hero.
Yeah, it was so incredible. Like, the second that I met her, I just, like, knew that I was in the presence of, like, this mystic. And I just wanted to, like, learn at her feet. And I was like, you know, what can I just wanted to devour everything that she could possibly teach me. And it was amazing. It was amazing. Like her office would be clean, right? And then the next day I'd come in and there'd be photos everywhere, all over. She's like, come in, I need you to help me file these. And she didn't need, you know what I'm saying? She didn't need to, but she pulled them all out so that she could teach me. Like every photo, she'd be like, oh, you see that? You see that? So it was like, and like I just wanted to learn everything that she had to teach me.
Oh, yes. I selfishly, when she passed away, I looked at my husband. I'm all, I'll never know what she would have thought of me. And I go, that makes me so sad. Because I've read all the books. Yeah. Like, I know all the history of this. I have a dog named Mitzi.
Oh, my God.
And I also am a huge Gone with the Wind fan.
Yes.
So, I mean, I have all of the Scarlett O'Hara Hallmark things. Like,
oh, my God.
Super nerd. And I told John, I was like, Mitzi is Scarlett O'Hara.
Yes.
And then Argus was like, oh, yeah, I wrote an article about it a long time ago. And I was like, oh, shit, I thought of that. Okay. I'm like, ouch.
Oh, my God. That's so great.
But, like, I was like, yeah, this is her Tara. Because when I walked in here, I go, John, I feel like I'm home. And this is before I even knew I wanted to do comedy.
Yes.
And anytime, like, we got away from the kids, because my parents, 1 week during the summer and 1 week during Christmas, they take the kids for a week. Mm-hmm. And John would be like, where do you want to go? And I'm like, the Comedy Store. And we would be here, like, every night. And I'm like, I love this. I go, this place, it's something for me here. And then I started comedy, and I'm like, oh, my God.
And you just feel it. Like, you know. Like, yeah. I mean, I've brought so many people here over the last, like, 24 years. And they, like, some people, it brings out the worst in them.
Yes.
You know, so, some people who come here, it's whatever demon that they have, it comes out.
I've seen that. Yes.
You know, but like when I'm here, I just feel like this is where I get my power from, the red earth of terror.
Yes. It's the dirt. It's here.
Yeah.
And I was so sad. I'm like, I'll never know.
But like, she's here. She's so here. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I have her picture and I have her candles and I talk to her like every day.
In fact, the first night I started working here, I tripped over her seat in the original room, and I'm all, okay. And then I was walking down to the main room, and where the belly room stairs start, they had a sign that said bitch, and it fell when I walked by it, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
My gosh.
Well, should I not be here? I'm sorry. Should I leave? Like,
no, that's her saying hi.
I was all, okay, hi. Sorry.
Oh my God. Where are you from?
I am from Madera, Fresno area. So.
Oh, okay.
Just California. And then I moved to Texas for 3 years.
I was going to say, there's a little bit of a twang.
Sometimes it comes out.
Yeah.
And then I escaped Texas and then came here.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah.
Oh, my gosh.
And I've been in Valencia 15 years, so.
And is that, like, that's Orange Groves, right?
That is, no, it's Magic Mountain.
Oh, okay. Copy that. Copy that.
Yeah, we just got our first school shooting, so whoo-hoo.
Oh, God. Oh, is that where the Saugus is?
Uh-huh. Yeah, my kid.
Wait, in that school? Your kids were in that school?
No, it's across town. It's like one of the furthest schools away from us. But my 13-year-old called me, and he's like, Mom. And I go, what, buddy? And he's all, I don't have to run laps today. Well, there's one way to think of it.
Oh my God.
But so do you want to get back on stage? Like,
oh yeah. But I, to be honest, I don't, I'm a performer, definitely, but I, as far as being like a stand-up,
mm-hmm.
I don't like the heckler aspect of performance.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I enjoy being on stage in a long bias cut dress, laying on top of a piano, doing a little bit of jokes, a little bit of, entertaining.
Okay.
Or theater, or I can see myself doing a one-woman show, and Mitzi, told me, she's like, please don't leave me. She's like, whatever you do, she goes, I'll produce your one-woman show, and it was going to be a combination of Sunset Boulevard, All About Eve, and Three Faces of Eve.
Yes.
Because, Mama's a little crazy.
Of course.
And I was like, that's perfect. So, the princess doesn't like to be interrupted. If Mama's performing on stage, you could keep your comments to yourself, Shug, and then we could talk after.
I love that.
But and I don't have that. I don't know. I used to call it a male sense of entitlement. But I'm glad that I did it, and it's so powerful and it's so amazing. And in order to feel the vibrations of like hundreds of different people, but yet they're like individual points of light all coming at you at one time, and it's like you're a conductor, and so if it gets low in one side, you have to lift them up, but you have to be careful that you don't lift them up too high, because then the other side will go down, and it's an incredible exchange of energy. But when it turns ugly, or if people start to break off into conversation, or it's like I want everybody to have a good time. I want to make sure that everybody is happy. I want I don't want to attack someone in order to get them, but you have to. It's like a cancer, right? Like you have to zap it, otherwise it'll infect the whole room.
Yeah.
And so that just goes against my hospitality.
I get it. Oh my God.
To like attack someone and be vicious in order to save yourself, right? So,
and everyone else, yeah.
And everyone else, you know what I'm saying? And when I was hosting the Girls at the Comedy Store, you'd kind of have to do that, right? Like you'd have to take the bullet in between each act, or, So I don't know. I mean, that's why I kind of like the podcast aspect of it, and I just haven't. I knew my daughter was going to leave, right? Like I knew she was going to leave me, and I've been so focused on her that I thought, okay, I better start to get my career back in check. And so I just knew it. I knew I wanted to be here, but not. This is my home, But. You can ask Eleanor. Lots of people will point out that I'm not a stand-up comic, but I am a comedian.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It does, and you have to do your one-woman show.
Yeah,
like, it has to be done.
Yeah,
and you have to write your book.
Like it, and it's because I'm. You're talking about like finding your voice. It was almost like for me when I was an actress, it was harder for me to take the Cory out of whatever character I was doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not, I'm Mitzi's Mae West, right? Like I'm not. I don't even think I like the idea of being an actress where I'm going to have to play like a legal secretary, right? Like I don't like. I want to be Princess Cory.
Yep.
That's what I want to be.
As you should be.
Right?
Oh my God. You're going to have to come back, and we're just going to have to do Life Story.
Oh my gosh.
Where I just
don't
speak.
Oh my God, I would love to. Like, you'll have to do my front, though, because this is terrible with my face hanging down. I can't imagine. I must look all, like, red and
No, you're perfect.
puffy.
No, next time I'll get your legs, too. I just need the whole body so we can just talk, because I want the whole thing.
Oh, my gosh.
Now, how do you feel?
I feel amazing. Like, I really, 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 really needed that.
Yay,
I really needed
I'm so
that.
glad. Okay, take your time getting up. And
thank you.
oh my God, thank you so much.
Oh my gosh. I mean, it's so amazing to do that here.
I know.
You know?
Yes, I know.
All right, that was my episode with Princess Cory. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. This was a fantastic episode. Please like, click, subscribe, comment, send emails to joyshappyendings@gmail.com. And once again, thank you, Care by Design. I love you guys. Bye. That was weird. I shouldn't have said I love you. I meant CBD, but I love you guys too for listening. So I'm going to, on that weird note, bye.